I beg you, baby, kick it to the left now. If you wanna eat it, no pressure. I only do rage, no Tesla. Balmain, dripping umbrella. I'm tryna love you like a gangster. Baby, would you answer?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing a Year 11 advice and revision tips video that has been highly requested, especially by a lot of people from my school. So yeah, we're going to do that. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first sort of tip I have just for generally getting through Year 11 is to make decisions early. Like, say it's December now, you should already by now be applying to colleges and just deciding what you want to do after you leave school, because if you don't, it really will just hang over you, or you're going to be worrying about it for the rest of the year, which isn't good because obviously you need to focus on your GCSEs. So just speak to your family members, your friends, or your school careers advisor and talk about the things that you're sort of interested in or what you can see yourself doing, and then from that you can decide. And you don't have to set your heart on something, it's just getting ideas together and then having sort of a plan. But obviously plans change, or they can change, so don't feel too restricted, but just try and get it out of the way so that it's not hanging over you for the rest of the year. Okay. Next one. Stay on top of things. Just if you've got sort of coursework or anything that you need to do, hand in, or any homework that you have been given, then just make sure you do that on time, because you don't want to have a lot of things piling up, because it will just stress you out even more, and you don't want that. Next thing is to go to all extra study / revision sessions. Say if they're after school, during lunch or break time, just go to them, because what are you going to lose from it? Honestly, yeah, you might not want to spend your time doing that, your extra time, your spare time doing that, but it will help you, it honestly will. And in the end, if you do some more at school, then I guess you have sort of less to do at home in a way, and it's also a good way to consolidate your knowledge, or to just go to ask any questions that you have, or learn something perhaps, or understanding anything that you didn't understand in the lesson or anything. Just, yeah, I highly recommend that. What's next? Making revision resources early. So you don't want it to get to a month before your exam and you've still got to make that set of flashcards, and you've got to make that poster, you've got to write out that set of notes, because it's not going to help you, because by that time you should be just having those resources there to use and actually apply, so that you're not stressed really. So yeah, just get that done out the way. Next one, revise for your mocks. I know you don't want to do it, I know everyone's oh yeah, they're mocks, they don't mean anything, and yeah, the grades that you get might not really mean anything, but if you revise for them, you're just putting into practice what you're actually going to have to do later on when it comes to the real thing, and it's also helping you learn how to revise for exams. And when it comes to your exams, you'll have that in your long-term memory, and it will be a lot better for you, because you've already revised and you understand how to answer a question in an exam. It's just practicing, just even better practice, so just do it. Next tip is to not burn yourself out. You don't really want to be working at peak time halfway through the year, and then it gets to your actual exams and you're just completely burnt out and you're drained, you can't do anything, because that would be absolutely pointless. There would have been no point of you putting in all of that effort just to burn yourself out by the time you get to the exams. the next tip I have links to this one actually. Just have a work-life balance, so that by the time you get to your exams you feel a lot more calm, because you just don't want to be going through a really bad mental state when you're doing exams. That is the worst thing ever. So make sure you prioritise your mental health and put yourself first always. Don't put the work before your actual needs as a human being. And yeah, the last one is just enjoy the year as much as you can. Look, it's your last year of school. You don't really want to have terrible memories of your last year of school, so just make the most of it. It might not be the most exciting, fun time ever, but just try and make it a good time at least. Now to the revision tips. Revision. I get called a revision queen, so you know, insert crown. The first tip that I have is this is one that I think is the most important thing. Well, one of the most important things. Know what you need to know. Look at the specifications or print them out, or ask your teachers for teachers for checklists, because you don't want to be learning excess information that's never going to come up in your exam, which is just going to be time consuming and time wasting. So just know exactly what you need to know, or know exactly how much you need to know to be able to get the grade you want or a good grade, and then it will just make life a lot more easier for you. And it makes your revision a lot easier because you know specifically what information you have to have in your brain. Okay, so the next tip that I have is to revise a little and often. Don't do large chunks of revision like once in a while. Do a little bit like every day or every other day, so that you've got a lot done by the time that comes to the exams, and it will feel a lot less overwhelming. So if you do large chunks all in one go, it's not really productive really, and it's a lot more stressful than if you just do a little bit each day. So do that. Next tip is to decide on the grade that you want to get, or the range between grades that you want to get, so that you know the intensity of your revision. Because I'm sorry, if you want to get a grade 9, let's say, not obviously you might not want to get a grade 9, sorry for the people that don't, but if you want to get a grade 9, you're not really going to get that with minimal revision, so you're going to need to do a lot more. Just generally make sure that you do that. Yeah, so basically the higher the grade you want, the more you're really going to have to revise, or if the later that you start, the more you're going to have to revise, because if you just want to pass, you're still going to have to revise regardless. Well, some people can pass without revising, yes I know, but if you want to secure the grade, then you need to make sure you work out the intensity level of your revision for that grade. My thumb looks really weird. Yeah, so I'd say start retrieving a little bit of information as well. As I said, like revising little and often start retrieving information for each subject, especially the heavy content subjects like, say, triple science, even if it's just science in general, because there is a lot of content for that. Obviously it's 3 sciences, but you either get 2 or 3 GCSEs, so just make sure that you start retrieving and make sure you have a foundation, like a base knowledge, because you're not really going to be able to do the harder stuff if you don't have a foundation of knowledge from the stuff that you learned in, say, like year 7, 8 or 9, whatever. And other subjects that are like heavy content that I'd recommend is like retrieving information earlier on. I don't do this one, history. I'd recommend that one because I've heard there's a lot that you need to know for that one, so yeah, make sure you do that. And languages, which I do Spanish, so you can't learn a whole language or like a whole language GCSE vocabulary content, whatever, just like 2 weeks before your exam. It's impossible, like physically impossible. I'm telling you that. There's over like 2,000, 3,000 words that you have to know. I know that sounds like a lot, but it is manageable if you start earlier, so yeah. And CGP revision guides. See, my school, well, they gave us, like, year 10 and year 11 students, they gave us a discount because obviously they can get it cheaper because they buy in bulk. So I got them for about £2.50 from my school, and you should ask your school also if they could do that if you don't already have them. But I highly recommend buying them, even if like you think they're quite expensive. I'm sure you can get like second-hand ones for like £5 off the internet or something. I don't know, but they are so good. Like, I use them a lot. Like, it's not my only revision resource that I use, like the revision guides, but they are really good, so I do recommend getting them. And obviously only get the ones that you need, or like make sure you get the right exam board, or like just make sure you get the right ones, and don't buy them if you know you're not going to use them, because there's no point, you're just wasting money. So yeah, CGP revision guides. Next one, watch YouTube videos. You don't understand how many YouTube videos that I've watched on like people just doing revision tips or explaining things. So, say like for English, I watch Mr. Bruff, Mr. Sauls, the English teacher, Stacey Ria, I think her name is, and then for maths, I can't even remember their names, but Primrose Kitten for science. Like, all of them, they're just so good. And there's other people as well, there's not just those people, there's so many people that do actually explain things about GCSE subjects. So I highly recommend just going on YouTube and searching up things, because it's a lot better when you're hearing it as well, as rather than just reading it, because it's more likely to go in your head. And I'm also going to be doing some subject specific revision videos on how I revise those subjects, or how I think it's a productive form of revision for those subjects. So just let me know which ones you think that I should do. Okay. And next tip is to always apply your knowledge and test yourself after learning something or revisiting something, because at the end of the day, GCSEs are mainly just exams. So if you don't know how to do an exam question, or if you haven't applied your knowledge to a piece of subject content or whatever, then it's most likely going to go out of your head how to actually do it when you get into the exam. And it's just a good form of practice, so make sure that you always do that. And then I think that's all for today, kids. I'm going to have a lot more revision videos coming out, so just let me know what you want me to do or what you'd like me to do. But as well, I'm gonna have a video coming out maybe next week, but I recorded another video that's general advice for all students, so that's gonna apply to everyone. A lot of these tips actually do apply to a lot of people, or don't just apply to year 11. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe and turn my post notifications on if you want to see more, and share my channel with your friends as well. So I will see you again soon, guys. Bye.